Hey San Diego, and welcome back to FLEETtv. I'm your host, Ashanti Davis, Exhibition Manager here at the Fleet Science Center. In this episode, we're gonna show you how you can take some of those recyclables that you've been collecting at home and turn them into fun physics and engineering projects that you can do right in your home. Sending you now live to one of our Fleetsters in the field, Mr. Angel Cortez, who's gonna show you how you can take an empty cereal box and turn it into a marble run. Take it away, Angel.
Hi, young scientists. I'm Mr. Angel, coming to you from my home to bring you another fun science activity that you can do at home with your handy-dandy parent. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a marble run out of a cereal box. This is an activity that has to do with motion, but specifically two types of energy that we call potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy is something that exists inside of any object that has the ability to move but is not in motion at the moment. It's storing that potential energy. Like a car stopped at a red light, right? It is not moving. Those wheels are not turning, but you and I both know that car does have the ability to move. All the driver has to do is move their foot from the brake over to the gas pedal. And when they do, those wheels start to turn, the car starts to move forward, and the potential energy that was stored inside of the car is turning into kinetic energy, which is the energy of motion. Today we're going to explore potential and kinetic energy with a marble. Let me show you a quick example. If I set the marble down, I could get it to stay still. It's not moving. But even though it's not in motion, it has the potential energy inside of it. It can move. Once I tilt this book, that marble rolls off. That potential energy turns into kinetic energy. That was just a short little rant. We want to see this in a fun marble run. I'm going to show you how to build it. Here are the materials that you will need to build your marble run. We have, of course, the cereal box. You will need a knife that your handy-dandy parent will handle. A pair of scissors. They don't need to be these big kitchen scissors. Any scissors will do. Some tape, your marble, and another random piece of cardboard. It could be from another cereal box or whatever. You'll see later what that extra piece is for. Alright, now that I have all of my materials, I'm going to get started. The very first thing I need to do is take the empty cereal box and tape the lid shut. Just like that. Then I'm going to need to cut out the front panel. This is where the knife comes in. Once I've made that first incision with the knife, I can come in with my scissors and cut out the rest. As I cut down the sides, I don't want to cut it completely. I want to leave about 1/2 inch to 1 inch on the bottom to catch the marbles when they go through the whole run. There we go. I've cut out the front panel, leaving about 1 inch on the bottom. Next, I'm going to take that front panel that I just cut out and cut it into 3 strips. Just like that. Once you have these strips, you're going to want to bend them at the ends. That's going to give you a spot to attach them. But first, make sure that you have at least the full length that you want right in here. So, after I have bent it on both sides, in a way that I can make it fit in here. Kind of like that. I'm going to want to cut a little notch in here where my marble is going to fall through. Just like this. Now you will repeat this with the 2 other strips. Okay, so I have all 3 of my strips bent with notches. Now is where that random other piece of cardboard comes in. And I'm going to tape this to the bottom of my cereal box, just like this. Just like that. Doing this is going to help the cereal box bend backwards a little bit so that the marbles will go through the course instead of falling out the front of the panel. If you can see how I set it down, and it leans back just a little bit. Just a little bit, it's all you need. Now that I have this base set up, I'm going to go ahead and insert all of my strips. Alright, there I now have all 3 of my strips, all 3 panels attached inside in a downward route with those notches always on the lower part. You don't want the notch to be at the top because you need that marble to roll down and then fall through. The last thing I need to do is add a hole right on top where I'm going to drop my marble in to begin with. I'm going to do that right over on this side. Okay, the hole is made. This is fully constructed, so it's time for me to go ahead and test it. Alright, young scientists, let's test our marble run in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, let's try that one more time. Yes! There you go. And you see why that extra piece of cardboard was important? To keep the marble toward the back of your route. Go ahead and try this at home with your handy dandy parent, young scientists.
Thanks, Angel, for that awesome demonstration. You probably have a ton of cardboard boxes lying around at home. What about those empty pizza boxes? Or again, cereal boxes? Just think about it. What can you make with all of that empty cardboard and then save it from your recycling bin and use it for fun projects at home? Make sure you send them to us. We always want to see what you're making. So there's probably another thing you have lying around at home that you really don't know what to do with, and that's these. That's right, empty toilet paper rolls. What do you even do with these? I'm gonna send you now live to another Fleetster in the field, Mr. Kit Medina, who's gonna show you how you can save toilet paper rolls from the recycling bin and instead channel your inner engineer and use them to design really awesome structures. Take it away, Mr. Kit.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mr. Kit here, coming again from the Fleet Science Center. I'm at my house here and I'm getting ready to do another experiment which you can also try at home. So, if you're like me, you probably loved playing with Legos if you were a kid, or if you're still a kid, you probably still enjoy playing with Legos. The only problem is, I don't happen to have any of my Legos left. But, if you're like most people right now, maybe if you're inside, maybe you picked up on a lot of different supplies. Maybe you probably have a lot of these guys lying around right here, a lot of toilet paper rolls. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create an experiment using all those toilet paper rolls back there. And we're gonna get rocking and rolling in just a second. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to build the biggest structure I can and see if it can withstand some wind pressure. See if I can build a structure so big it can stand up to the pressure of wind. Kind of like the story of the big bad wolf. I'm gonna see if I can't create enough wind, enough force to knock all those guys over. So let me get set up, show you what you need, and we will get rocking and rolling. Okay, so here's what you're gonna need for your experiment. Basically, all you're gonna need is some toilet paper rolls and some sort of device to create wind and knock it over. Over there, I'm gonna use my Dungeons and Dragons journal, keep all my notes and character information in there. I'm just gonna use that to try and knock all these toilet paper rolls down. So as you can see right here, I have a total of 36. So I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna get my structure built really quick. And then, like I said, we'll put it to the test, see if it can withstand all that wind generated from a, quote, big bad wolf. Stay tuned, we'll get rocking and rolling in just a second. Okay, so here we go. So this is my pretty basic design that I have here. As you can tell, I didn't really go too crazy. I just went about 1, 2 in height, and then I have my 2 little smokestacks or pillars, if you want to look at it kind of like a castle sticking up right there. Now we're going to test it. We're going to see what happens. We're going to just hit it with some wind. So wish me luck. Make your predictions right now if you think this is going to stand up or if this is going to fall, and come up with a reason in your head why you think that it's gonna either stand up or it's gonna fall over. Let's get ready, let's get set up. Okay, so we're all set up. I got my structure right there, as you can see. Got my handy dandy wind generator right here, ready to go. Let's find out. Hope you made your predictions. Let's find out what will happen. Here we go. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Well, needless to say, looks like it was a bust. But that's okay. So for those of you who said the structure wouldn't stand, congratulations, you got it right. And for those of you who said the structure would stand, well, may not be right this time, but that's okay. And that's the thing about science. You know, whether you make a right prediction or a wrong prediction, it doesn't matter. You gotta try until you find out what the answer is that works. So why is this so important? Well, in science, there are a particular type of scientists known as engineers. And what we just kind of looked at really quick was structural engineering. And you might be thinking, well, this is really silly, Mr. Kit. Like, how in the world does toilet paper rolls equate to structural engineering? Well, let's say that was the house you were living in right now. Kind of be a bad deal, right? So it's important what engineers do if they're creating a building. They go through stress tests. So they might come up with ideas on what happens if, you know, a building that's just built nice and straight, if it happens with an earthquake here in California, is it going to be able to withstand it? A lot of times what will happen on the inside of the buildings is that there are these cross beams that go across certain parts of the structure. So that helps make it a lot stronger so it can withstand those forces. So in this case, I didn't have anything like that. I applied my wind force to it and, well, like I said, it was kind of a bust. So this is where you come in. So what can you do to make your structure stronger than mine? What would happen if we used less toilet paper rolls? I mean, can you make a super tall, super strong structure with, let's say, you know, 10 of these guys? Can you do that? Or what happens if we use, maybe instead of just the toilet paper roll, the roll with the paper on it? Maybe that'll be a little bit stronger. Or what happens if we even change the way of how these things are set up? As you saw, mine were standing straight up. But what if you try to stack these things horizontally on top of each other? There's that nice little hole in that roll there. Maybe that could do something as well. So I would love to see your designs, love to see your concepts, so get out there and get cracking. From the Fleet Science Center, this is Mr. Kit. Hoping you all have a great day, be well, stay safe, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.
Thank you, Mr. Kit, for that awesome demo. I hope you all are ready to go out and get your cardboard engineer on. Me and my friend Al want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Fleet TV. Share us with your family, share us with your friends, share with us on social, and then of course, we'll see you next week.